Hello. Hi, everyone. Today I decided to change the approach a bit of how I make the videos, and I decided to just use my phone to make this recording. Let me put on my cap. So I thought it would be fun and interesting to just do this, and also it's also going to make it interactive. This is the first time I'm actually showing my face in a video, so I thought that would also be nice. So let's get into it. So today's topic is going to be on a question. It's based on a question that I've seen a lot in different forums of bioinformatics and then data science, and it goes like, how can I learn bioinformatics? How can I go into bioinformatics? How can I study bioinformatics? So I thought I'll also share my opinion on how you can do this based on my experience as well in the field of bioinformatics. So first of all, I also realized that most of the time the questions come from beginners or people who are new in the field of bioinformatics. So first of all, what you need to know is that bioinformatics is a means to an end. It's not the end itself. It's going to help you to achieve a goal, to go that final destination. It's going to help you to answer a question, to solve a problem. And so it's a tool. So that's what you need to know first. And you also need to know that bioinformatics itself is broad, and there are a number of areas in that field. We have genomics, we have transcriptomics, we have proteomics, and we even have machine learning also coming to join. There are several areas, and we even have statistics components as well. That's what you should know first. Now, let's look at this scenario here. I think that will help you to understand. Let's say I'm in Ghana. That's where I am currently making this video. And then I want to travel to a different country. Let's say Germany. Now, where I am going to, that's my destination. That's my final goal. So if I want to go to Germany, obviously I need to have a means of transport to go. So that transportation is what's going to help me to get to Germany. So take that transportation as what's the bioinformatics, and take my final destination, Germany, as what's the goal. And so that means that bioinformatics, which is my transportation, is going to help me to get to Germany. Now, I made mention earlier that bioinformatics comprise of several areas. So let's look at it this way. If I want to, the transportation, let's say I want to even use air. We can use water, by land, whatever. Let's say air. With the air, there are different airlines available. We have KLM, we have Ethiopian Airlines, and we have Emirates, and all those. There are several airlines I could also use to go to Germany. So take those ones as what? The various areas in bioinformatics. So it's very broad. So it will be very difficult for you to learn or to master or develop expertise in all these areas in bioinformatics. So eventually, that comes to my next statement about what you need to do. You need to first identify your area of interest. It's very, very important. Your area of interest. Are you interested in diseases? Are you interested in parasites? Which organisms are you interested in? Are you interested in hosts? Are you interested in host-parasite relationship? These are things you need to figure out first, what your interests really are. Let's say, for example, you are interested in diseases. Again, you can't you can't study all the diseases in the world, so you need to also pick. So let's say you want to study cancer, or you want to study maybe malaria. These are things you have to look at. And let's also assume that, let's say, your interest is in cancer. Then you are making headway because now you know what you really want to do. So now you start reading. In the field of cancer, how is bioinformatics being applied there? And what sorts of questions can be asked, and what sorts of problems are in the cancer area that you want to solve? So that's another thing you also have to factor. That now you have the area of interest, the broader one, and then you zoom into what really you want to do. So let's say cancer. You are interested in cancer. Now, in the cancer research, are you interested in diagnostics? Are you interested in developing therapeutic intervention measures? Are you interested in looking at how cancer develops? These are things you also have to consider in the field of bioinformatics. So these are things you have to ponder on and then just be thinking about it to help you narrow down. Then you can finally zoom into the bioinformatics analysis itself. Let's say, for example, in cancer, we have bioinformatics being applied. We have genomics, we have transcriptomics, we have proteomics. These things are all being applied in the field of cancer. So again, you need to understand, based on the specific interest in cancer, then you can decide what bioinformatics approach that you want to learn. Let's take, for example, identification of novel markers or biomarkers. Let's put it that way. In cancer, there are a lot of studies going on to identify biomarkers. So let's say that's what you want to do. Then that becomes your end goal. That's what you want to achieve. Then now you can now go and zoom into how is bioinformatics being applied to identify these biomarkers for cancer. Then you are making another headway. So then when you look at biomarker discovery, now we have proteomics being used. We also have transcriptomics being used. We even have machine learning also being combined with transcriptomics or proteomics to try and then identify these biomarkers. So then it becomes very, so now you know what you want to do. Let's say you are now interested in learning about transcriptomics for identifying biomarkers in cancer. Then you can now go and start reading on what is transcriptomics, what are the pipeline, what are the stages, what are the analysis procedure in transcriptomics. In transcriptomics, generally speaking, you need to get your data. You need to now look at doing QC. You need to do a trimming. You need to look at mapping to reference genome or whatever. You need to look at gene quantification. You need to look at differentially expressed genes, gene arrangement analysis, and all those things. You need to look at those things when you are doing transcriptomics. So now you now understand that these are the things you need to do. So now you can now go into papers and tutorials that have done similar studies in that particular field. You can now start learning and then reproducing and even try those methods with different data sets, and then you are making a headway. So that is how you'll be able to learn bioinformatics and you'll be able to develop the expertise in the field of bioinformatics. So I believe this information is going to be very helpful for you. Now there's also this question that I've come across a number of times. I'm a computer scientist, or I'm a computer science student, and I want to go into bioinformatics for a master's or PhD or whatnot. Do I need to have biology background? Do I need to have a strong biology background? I'll put it this way: it depends on what you want to do. Now, in bioinformatics, you can decide to be an end user where you are applying or you are using the existing tools and software to understand biology, to answer biological questions. So if you're an end user, of course, you need to understand the biology, and that will guide you to interpret the results you get. If you're a computer scientist, you can also look into developing algorithms and methods for bioinformatics data analysis. That's another thing you can also do. It's all part of bioinformatics in the bigger picture. Let's say you have tools you want to optimize. Maybe this tool, you can make it run faster, or you can make it run efficiently. These are things as a computer scientist you can also look at. But of course, you need to understand the data in the biology field, the data structure and all these things. So you need to know a bit of biology. But I wouldn't say too deep as a computer scientist. Just know what you want to do, and then just try and then read a bit more about it and then get it done. So as a computer scientist, yes, you can get into bioinformatics and it's going to work out very fine for you as well. Another question that I've seen across is, I want to get into bioinformatics. Do I need to have a good, or do I need to have like a deep maths, a deeper knowledge in maths, or do I need to have a strong background in maths before I can do bioinformatics? I also say it depends on a number of things. If you are an end user, of course, you need to have a basic understanding or basic knowledge in maths and stats to help you interpret. But you don't really have to go deep into maths. I mean, bioinformatics, the core point is to be able to understand biology, to be able to solve biological problems. So, of course, a little bit of maths will be very helpful for you, but not too deep. But then if you are looking to developing methods, then I would say that one you need to have solid maths background, because all these methods will definitely have some maths behind it. So that's what you need to understand about bioinformatics. So these are things you always have to consider and then try and then narrow down, because by narrowing down, by discarding what you don't need, it becomes easier for you to learn bioinformatics and develop the expertise in it quickly. And so that's what I have for you today, and I'll also appreciate it if you can also give your comments and then we can discuss this as we move on. So I'll see you later with more videos. So catch you and I see you in the next session. Goodbye.